America on Two Wheels is brought to you by Star Motorcycles. We build it, you make it your own. Introducing the all-new Bolt and Bolt R-Spec, available now at your local Star Motorcycles dealer.
There's nothing like an old-fashioned country fair. It's as much a part of Americana as baseball and apple pie.
Here in the Bayou State, we take our fairs and festivals very seriously.
We certainly do. In Louisiana, there are more weekend fairs and festivals than there are weekends, and most of them have something to do with food.
And you know how much I like to eat.
Speaking of eating, TW, check these out.
Fresh Louisiana oysters.
Those are beautiful.
Whether served on the half shell with a side of horseradish and cocktail sauce or fried golden brown on a po' boy, they're delicious any way they come.
And Louisiana's coastline is the perfect place to find them. And it's so ironic that the town that hosts the annual Oyster Festival is actually miles away from coastal waters.
When Iron Warrior Dean Lawrence invited me to join him and a group of friends on a ride to the Oyster Festival, I just naturally assumed we were headed for a Louisiana coastal town with fishing boats, Cajuns, and Zydeco music. Not so. The annual Oyster Festival isn't located in a fishing town at all. No, you'll find the Oyster Festival in the heart of the piney woods of Tangipahoa Parish, in the town of Amite City. As we headed northeast on LA 37, I thought how wonderful Louisiana is with all its fairs and festivals. On almost any given weekend, there are several to choose from. Shrimp, petroleum, sawmills, you name it, we have a festival for it. And Amite has the Oyster Festival. Another great reason to get out and ride. Now, the Oyster Festival is like most fairs and festivals in Louisiana. Merry-go-rounds, Ferris wheels, a carnival midway where everybody wins something, even live bunnies. Boy, I bet parents love this one. They're kings and queens and entertainment too. But the real reason for the festival, of course, are the oysters. And there were plenty of them. While Amite doesn't have any oyster beds nearby, it does have one of the largest oyster processing and packing houses in Louisiana. Thus, the reason for the annual Oyster Festival being held here. And if you like oysters, this is the place to enjoy them. On the half shell or hot off the grill. Stewed, broiled, breaded, and fried. No matter how you like them, you can get them at the Amite Oyster Festival.
You know, just a few miles down the road from Amite, there's another celebration that takes place every spring. And if you've got a sweet tooth, or a mouthful of them like I do, then you'll definitely want to visit the Strawberry Festival.
Ooh, served in cakes, pies, jams, or jellies, or just dipped in chocolate with whipped cream. The folks in Ponchatoula say their strawberries are the sweetest you'll find anywhere.
And I hear they make an amazing wine too, right, TW?
Right.
You know you're in for a sweet ride when the forecast calls for partly cloudy skies and a high of 75, and the Strawberry Festival is just an hour's drive. It's a small group on this trip as we head out of Baton Rouge and catch Highway 22 in the direction of Ponchatoula. We do have Captain America with us, aka Fran LaSalle, complete with his Peter Fonda signed helmet. Now that's just cool. And we can't overlook TW's strawberry-colored scarf, which is very apropos. It's a scenic ride as we weave our way through Ascension Parish into Tangipahoa. Ponchatoula becomes quite a playground for two-wheelers, tourists, and locals on festival weekend.
The first Strawberry Festival was in 1972, and a whopping 15,000 people showed up at that time. This year, they're expecting about 300,000. Strawberries! Strawberries!
And this is why people come from all over, because there are flats and flats of strawberries that are anything but flat. The streets are lined with vendors who have dipped and decorated this fruity delicacy in daring and delicious flavors of chocolate. If this doesn't make you tap your toes when you eat, nothing will. As we maneuver around the Midway, we notice many other vendors are selling their non-strawberry wares. It may not seem very biker-like, but TW and I can't pass up the sweet-smelling hand lotion.
That reminds me of my childhood. We had so much honeysuckle at the house. Oh, wow. Don't eat it. It smells good enough to eat.
For pooches and people alike, it's well worth the trip to Ponchatoula to take in the spring bounty. But it's even sweeter when you can enjoy it from atop your favorite two wheels. In Ponchatoula, this is Tammi Arender for LA Writing.
Where you gonna go when the night gets cold? When the stars are black and the ground is cold?
Hey, this is Eric Edwards with Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Whether you're looking for a great time on your bike in a more populated city atmosphere like Bass Pro, or you're looking for a scenic tour along LA-22, we want to show you how biker-friendly we are right here in Livingston Parish. We have a lot of great rooms, RV parks, and of course the Tickfall State Park. Go to our website, visit livingstonparish.com, or call us, email us, and we'll help your bike ride to be the best it can be. Hope to see you soon on your bike in Livingston Parish.
G.N. Gonzalez, Baton Rouge's top spot for more than 75 years, carrying the best. With brands like Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, ATVs, street bikes, off-road, power equipment, and more. If it's fun and excitement you want, we've got it. Shop online or stop by the capital city's largest showroom. Great deals at great prices every day. G.N. Gonzalez, it's how you roll.
Magnificent mansions, tiny churches, historic sites, mysterious places. No matter what your taste, you'll find it here. Come to the heart of plantation country and the soul of the Atchafalaya. Come take a ride in Iberville Parish, where the destination is the journey.
Have you always wanted to learn to ride a Harley-Davidson motorcycle? Or maybe you just want to improve your skills? New Orleans Harley-Davidson's Rider's Edge New Rider course can teach you the basics of motorcycling and put you on the path to open road adventure in just a few days. And once you learn to ride, New Orleans Harley-Davidson has a huge selection of new and used Harley-Davidson motorcycles and a large inventory of rental bikes available so you can get out on the open road immediately. So call or log on today to sign up for New Orleans Harley-Davidson's Rider's Edge course.
Here's a great French term, couchon de lait. We go to them, but I don't know what that actually means.
Well, roughly translated, it means suckling pig.
Or roasted pork over an open fire. And in Mansura, Louisiana, it means eating, dancing, and calling hogs. If you're gonna ride a hog, you may as well learn how to call one. And there's no better place to learn than Mansura, Louisiana. They've been calling hogs here since the Louisiana legislature designated Mansura the couchon de lait capital of the world back in 1960. Now, it's not the longest parade you'll ever see, but it is probably one of the prettiest. That's because there are more queens per capita in Avoyelles Parish than anywhere in the universe, from tiny toddlers to grandmas. Now, pretty girls in pretty dresses are great, but this is the real reason people come to Mansura's Couchon de Lait Festival.
Yesterday afternoon we put them in the racks and we hung them about 6 o'clock. And then all night we just keep a fire on them, turn them, let the grease cook them, and then about 6, 7 o'clock we can start taking them off, and just as we need them we start cutting them up like we're doing right now. So it's not really complicated. It just takes a lot of manpower. That's all.
Now, I have to admit the smell of roast pork made me a little hungry, but there would be time for eating later. Right now, my attention was drawn to the sounds of swamp pop coming from the festival's main stage. What I had on my mind was the hog calling contest. It's an old tradition here at the festival as men, women, boys, and girls compete to see who can do the best job of calling a hog to slaughter. Now, this didn't look that hard, but since it was my first rodeo, so to speak, I sought the advice of some of the locals.
And then they always go, sweet, like.
Oh, I can do it. I've been practicing the sweet.
Okay, but I'm gonna do that. Well, I thought about doing this other little thing.
Nervous? I am nervous. First time I've ever called a pig. We had cows, we didn't have pigs.
TW.
I'm doing the basic pig call.
Holy moly, that's probably be the prettiest hog call we ever had. Here we go.
And I'm not even a queen. How did I not get in the queen? Whoops. Okay, this will be my first ever hog calling, so bear with me. Okay. All right. Soo-wee! Soo-wee! Here, piggy, 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 piggy! Soo-wee!
Y'all get over TW, that was awesome.
Well, I didn't win, but we all got a lesson on how it's done from this year's winner and defending champion. Let me talk to you a second. So, now, how did you learn how to, do you call hogs every day?
No, ma'am. I mean, heck, we just raise a bunch of them. We got a whole bunch of them. I mean, it's just something you hear every day, you know.
And do they come when you call them?
No, not really. It's just a way, I mean, pretty much just having fun.
Now, even though I didn't win this year, I intend to keep practicing. And Francois says that if I come back next year, he'll help coach me in the proper way to call a hog. Who knows, maybe T.W. Robinson Hog Rider has a future as T-Girl Robino Hog Caller. You just never know.
Where you gonna go when the night gets cold? When the stars are black and the ground is cold. Right on.
Magnificent mansions, tiny churches, historic sites, mysterious places. No matter what your taste, you'll find it here. Come to the heart of plantation country and the soul of the Atchafalaya. Come take a ride in Iberville Parish, where the destination is the journey.
I think we create a unique motorcycle shopping experience here. We started out as a small Vespa dealership in New Orleans and have grown into this really world-class European motorcycle dealership.
Our dealership is striving really to be the one-stop shop for everything you could possibly need to be on two wheels.
We've got bikes all the way from scooters to cruisers, to sport bikes, to bikes, naked bikes, to bikes you can ride in the city, to bikes you can ride off-road now. We've got the full gamut.
We want to make sure that everybody has a great experience here.
Come to the biggest and best bike night in South Louisiana. Come to the camp. Every Wednesday night is bike night at the camp, where you'll find plenty of space to park your ride in our huge asphalt parking lot. Plus, lots of vendors and, of course, good food and drink. Join the crowd and come to the camp. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till. The camp, home of the biggest and best bike night in South Louisiana.
Have you always wanted to learn to ride a Harley-Davidson motorcycle? Or maybe you just want to improve your skills? New Orleans Harley-Davidson's Rider's Edge New Rider course can teach you the basics of motorcycling and put you on the path to open road adventure in just a few days. And once you learn to ride, New Orleans Harley-Davidson has a huge selection of new and used Harley-Davidson motorcycles and a large inventory of rental bikes available so you can get out on the open road immediately. So call or log on today to sign up for New Orleans Harley-Davidson's Rider's Edge course.
You know, you could spend an entire year in Louisiana and not visit all the fairs and festivals that we have.
Shoot, I think TW has done that, and yet she still manages to get in those jeans.
Hey, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
As we've pointed out, in Louisiana there is a festival celebrating just about everything. And every one of them involves music, food, dancing, and fun. Tailor-made for motorcycle adventurers, right? In the town of Gonzales, they celebrate jambalaya. This Spanish and Creole French mix of rice and meat is one of the staples of Cajun culture. And in Gonzales each year, cooks compete for the title of Best Jambalaya Chef, while everyone teams up to prepare the world's largest pot of jambalaya. Yes, it's certified each year by Guinness.
We're trying to break our own Guinness record.
How much sausage, chicken, rice do you get to put in a pot that big?
This year we got 700 pounds of rice.
In the coastal town of Morgan City, you'll discover Louisiana's oldest official festival. Here locals celebrate the two things that built their economy, shrimp and petroleum. Seems strange to link the two together, but they have been coexisting here for more than 100 years. Even the greatest offshore oil disaster in history didn't stop this festival from continuing. In fact, it's bigger than ever. Take a ride to Cajun country and you'll find dozens of street fairs, festivals, and official celebrations.
In 1799, Furman Breaux, a Cajun pioneer who owned most of the land around here, built a simple footbridge across Bayou Test for friends and family. So when anyone asked for directions, they always said, "Go by Breaux's Bridge," and the name just stuck.
Well, Mr. Breaux's Bridge may have given this town a name, but crawfish put it on the map. And every year, hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world come here to honor what some affectionately call the mud bug. Yes, in Louisiana, you'll find a fair or festival celebrating just about everything, from andouille sausage to zydeco music. And each and every one of them is a perfect destination for the motorcyclist. As we like to say in Louisiana, laissez les bon temps rouler, or for you non-Cajuns, let the good times roll.
Come to the biggest and best bike night in South Louisiana. Come to the camp. Every Wednesday night is bike night at the camp, where you'll find plenty of space to park your ride in our huge asphalt parking lot. Plus lots of vendors and of course good food and drink. Join the crowd and come to the camp. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till. The camp, home of the biggest and best bike night in South Louisiana.
Our service department ranges from tire changes to valve jobs to every service you'd ever need, to suspension tuning to dyno tuning. Anything you can do to a bike, we can do here.
The motorcycle market's changing very rapidly, and I think that we're kind of ahead of the curve on where it's going.
And we're getting people now that are coming from 3 states away just to have us work on their bikes. We try and cover the whole spectrum to be able to get your bike here, make it your own, and then really use it to the best of its abilities.
I fish alligators because it's in my blood, and I love it, and we are the real home of swamp people.
Everything my dad taught me was hands-on about alligator hunting, and look, I still have my hands. If anybody never been to the swamp, you're missing out. You need to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
You'll see alligators that's on land, sunning themselves. You'll see different birds.
So if you want to see the swamp, come out and get on a tour.
You can stay home and watch this on TV.
Or you can come down to Houma and experience it for real.
Where you gonna go when the night gets cold? When the stars are black and the ground is cold.
G.N. Gonzalez, Baton Rouge's top spot for more than 75 years, carrying the best, with brands like Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, ATVs, street bikes, off-road, power equipment, and more. If it's fun and excitement you want, we've got it. Shop online or stop by the capital city's largest showroom. Great deals at great prices every day. G.N. Gonzalez, it's how you roll.
Okay, TW, but what about frogs?
Yeah, I heard you went looking for a handsome prince and ended up with frog legs instead. So what's that all about?
Oh, you're talking about my ride to Rayne, Louisiana, the frog capital of the world.
I was on the road early and headed west. I've kissed a lot of frogs in my search for the perfect prince, but I've never been to a town full of them. Frogs, that is, not princes. My destination on this cool Louisiana day was the frog capital of the world, Rayne, Louisiana. Rayne is located in the very heart of Cajun country, about halfway between Lafayette and Crowley. After crossing the beautiful Atchafalaya Basin on I-10, I took US 90 West out of Lafayette to enjoy a little more of the local scenery. This area of Louisiana is known as the Cajun Prairie. Flat, rich farmland which became home for thousands of migrating Acadians forced out of Canada in the Great Expulsion.
Cajuns may be the reason that Rayne became a town, but frogs made it famous. Where else could you find a frog fountain but in the frog capital of the world?
In the 1880s, the Weil brothers from Paris began exporting frogs from Rayne to the tables of some of the finest restaurants in New Orleans. Soon, menus across the U.S. carried frog legs from Rayne, Louisiana. And the rest, as they say, is history. Today, the frog export business no longer exists, but there are tributes to Amphibia anura everywhere.
Now that's a big frog.
You can't have a ride Louisiana without someplace to eat. And you can't eat in Rain, Louisiana without eating frog legs. So that means a stop at Chef Roy's Frog City Cafe.
Well, here we are at Chef Roy's Frog City Cafe. Let's go in and see what frog legs taste like. There you go. Oh, wow. Those are big. What if it leaps out of my hand when I pick it up? I guess you eat it just like chicken. Ooh, it's hot. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. I did it. One thing we didn't find while we were here was a real live frog. So I never got a chance to actually find a prince. Maybe the Wild Brothers did their job a little too well. For LA Rider, I'm TW.
Well, that was a little off the beaten path.
Hey, I've lived my entire life off the beaten path. As a matter of fact, that's where I'm headed right now, for a ride on the weird side. I'll tell y'all all about it when I get back next week.
But I'm not sure I can wait a whole week for that.
God bless chrome cowgirls like us.